Have you ever found yourself wondering if your adult children truly listen to you anymore? Do you feel like your advice, your opinions, or even your very presence is sometimes met with a polite nod, a quick change of subject, or perhaps even a subtle dismissal? It's a painful reality that many of us navigate as our children grow into their own lives. That deep, unquestioning respect that once shone in their eyes when they were little can feel like it's faded, replaced by a dynamic that leaves you feeling a bit on the sidelines, perhaps even a little hurt or frustrated. We pour our lives into raising them, guiding them, and then, suddenly, it feels like that connection shifts, and sometimes, the respect seems to diminish. It's not about wanting them to be children forever. It's about maintaining a meaningful, mutual respect in this new chapter of your relationship. But what if there was a way to not just wish for that respect to return, but to actively cultivate it, to earn it anew, in powerful and authentic ways? What if the secret lies not in demanding it, but in shifting how you interact and present yourself? In this video, we'll dive into 5 powerful moves you can make to not just rebuild, but truly earn and deepen the respect your adult children have for you, creating a more fulfilling and harmonious connection for everyone. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you about how this all connects and what truly makes the difference. Let's begin with the first powerful move, one that can fundamentally transform how your children perceive your engagement with them, becoming a master of active listening and genuine empathy. Think about how often, when your children are talking, especially when they are sharing a problem or a difficult situation, our natural parental instinct kicks in. We want to fix it, to advise, to share our own wisdom from years of experience. And while those intentions come from a place of deep love, sometimes that eagerness to jump in with solutions can inadvertently send a message that we haven't fully heard them, or that their experience isn't quite as important as our immediate answer. True respect begins with truly hearing. It's about creating a space where your adult children feel completely safe, understood, and validated. Even if you don't necessarily agree with their choices or their perspective, this isn't just about waiting for your turn to speak. It's about fully immersing yourself in what they are saying, both with their words and the emotions behind them. Imagine your child telling you about a challenging situation at work. Instead of immediately launching into, "Well, you should just tell your boss X," or, "Back in my day, we would have done Y." Try to just listen. Put down your phone, make eye contact, and really focus on their words. A powerful technique here is asking open-ended questions that encourage them to elaborate. Like, "That sounds incredibly frustrating. Tell me more about how that made you feel." Or, "What are your thoughts on how to approach this?" You're not offering solutions yet. You're offering presence and understanding. Another incredibly impactful part of active listening is reflecting back what you hear. This isn't parroting, but rather summarizing their feelings or the essence of their message to confirm you've understood. You might say, "So, if I'm hearing you correctly, you're feeling really overwhelmed by the new project, and you're worried about managing the deadline on top of everything else." This simple act validates their experience, shows them you've truly absorbed their message, and makes them feel genuinely heard. When they feel heard, they feel valued. And when they feel valued, respect for you as a compassionate, understanding parent naturally blossoms. It communicates that you respect their internal world, their struggles, and their thought processes, rather than just waiting for an opportunity to impart your own. This profound shift from advisor to empathic listener can rebuild bridges you might not even realize were swaying. And it lays the groundwork for a deeper, more trusting connection where respect flows both ways. It shows them you value their perspective, their autonomy, and their ability to navigate their own lives, rather than just seeing them as someone who needs your constant guidance. When you consistently demonstrate that you are a safe harbor for their thoughts and feelings, without judgment or immediate correction, they will naturally be drawn to share more with you. And in doing so, their respect for your wisdom and your person will grow exponentially. Now that we've discussed the profound impact of active listening and empathy, let's seamlessly transition into the second powerful move, which is setting healthy boundaries. Not just for them, but crucially, for yourself. This might sound counterintuitive to gaining respect, as some might worry it creates distance. But in reality, clear and respectful boundaries are the bedrock of any healthy adult relationship, including the one with your children. When you establish boundaries, you are not being rigid or uncaring. You are defining your space, your time, your emotional limits, and your energy. This prevents resentment from building up, which can slowly erode respect over time. And it teaches your children how to treat you by showing them how you value yourself. Think about how often, as parents, we've instinctively put our children's needs and desires ahead of our own, often to our own detriment. While this is a beautiful quality in nurturing young children, it can become problematic with adult children if it leads to burnout or a feeling of being taken for granted. Establishing boundaries means clearly communicating your needs and limits, kindly but firmly. For instance, if you're often called upon for last-minute childcare and it's exhausting you, a boundary might sound like, "I love spending time with the grandkids so much, and I'm happy to help out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I need to keep my weekends free for my own rest and activities." You're not saying no to help. You're saying yes to your well-being and communicating that your time and energy have value. Or perhaps your adult child consistently brings up sensitive topics that cause arguments or make you uncomfortable. A boundary could be, "I love you dearly, but I've noticed that when we talk about politics, it often leads to us both feeling frustrated. Can we agree to steer clear of that topic moving forward to protect our relationship?" This isn't about shutting down conversation. It's about preserving the quality of your interactions. Sticking to these boundaries, once communicated, is vital. It's easy to backslide, especially when met with resistance or guilt trips. But consistency is key. When you consistently uphold your boundaries, you are modeling self-respect, and that self-respect commands respect from others. It shows your children that you are not just a resource to be tapped, but an individual with your own needs, your own life, and your own priorities. It also teaches them that they are capable of navigating their own challenges without you constantly rescuing them. By not always swooping in to fix every problem or accommodate every request, you empower them to find their own solutions and develop their own resilience. This shows them you trust their capabilities, which is a massive builder of mutual respect. When you honor yourself through healthy boundaries, you become a person who is respected, not just loved out of obligation, but truly admired for their strength, clarity, and self-worth. Next, we move to our third powerful strategy, embracing their independence and autonomy wholeheartedly. This move often requires a conscious shift in perspective, especially for parents who have been so intrinsically involved in every aspect of their children's lives for decades. As our children become adults, their fundamental need is to feel capable, self-sufficient, and in control of their own destinies. They are no longer extensions of us. They are individuals with their own unique paths, choices, and lessons to learn. For us, as parents, letting go of the reins can be incredibly challenging, sometimes feeling like a loss of influence or even a diminishment of our role. However, true respect from your adult children flourishes when you actively demonstrate trust in their ability to make their own decisions, even if those decisions are vastly different from what you would have chosen for them. This means biting your tongue on unsolicited advice. It's an instinctual urge, isn't it, to see a potential pitfall and immediately jump in with a warning or a solution. But consider the impact offering unasked for advice can inadvertently communicate, "I don't trust you to figure this out," or "My way is the only right way." Instead, cultivate the habit of asking, "Would you like my input on this?" or Are you looking for advice or just a listening ear? This simple question puts them in the driver's seat, allowing them to invite your wisdom when they genuinely want it, rather than feeling like it's being imposed upon them. When they invite it, your advice carries far more weight and is received with much greater openness and respect, supporting their choices, even if they're not what you do, is another crucial aspect of embracing their autonomy. This could be their career path, their relationship choices, or how they choose to raise their own children. For instance, if your child decides to pursue a less conventional career, instead of expressing your worries or doubts, try. That sounds really interesting. What excites you most about that path? Or, if they make a parenting choice you disagree with, rather than criticizing, focus on admiring their efforts. You're really putting a lot of thought into that, and I can see how much you care. When they inevitably stumble or make a mistake, which all adults do, resist the urge to say, "I told you so." Instead, offer compassionate presence and support. A supportive statement like, "That sounds incredibly tough. What are you thinking of doing next?" Or, "I'm here for you if you need to talk things through." Empowers them to learn from their experiences and reinforces your role as a loving supporter, not a judgmental critic, celebrating their successes, no matter how small. Also reinforces your respect for their journey when you show genuine enthusiasm for their achievements and milestones. You communicate that you see them as competent, capable individuals worthy of recognition. This profound shift from guide to supporter and cheerleader demonstrates trust and confidence in them, which is a massive builder of mutual respect. It shows them you truly see them as competent, independent adults, capable of navigating their own lives. When you grant them this space and this trust, they will naturally be more inclined to come to you for genuine connection, and their respect for you as a parent who truly believes in them will deepen beyond measure. Now, let's explore our fourth powerful move, being vulnerable and sharing your own humanity appropriately. This might sound counterintuitive to gaining respect, as we often associate respect with strength, authority, or having all the answers. However, as our children mature into adults, the dynamic of our relationship shifts from a hierarchical one, where we are the sole providers of wisdom and protection, to one that ideally becomes more reciprocal and deeply connected. When you allow yourself to be appropriately vulnerable, you break down the old parent-child hierarchy and invite a more authentic, adult-to-adult connection. It shows them that you are also a work in progress, that you've made mistakes, learned lessons, and continue to navigate life's complexities just like them. This doesn't mean burdening them with all your anxieties or using them as your therapist. Instead, it's about strategically and genuinely sharing aspects of your own human experience. For example, if your child is struggling with a career decision, instead of just telling them what to do, you might share a past mistake you made in your own career and the invaluable lesson it taught you. Something like, "You know, when I was around your age, I faced a really tough decision about a job, and I ended up making a choice I later regretted because I was trying to please everyone else. What I learned from that was, this isn't about preaching. It's about sharing a relatable experience from which they can draw their own conclusions." Another powerful act of vulnerability is admitting when you don't know something, or when you've been wrong. As parents, we sometimes feel pressure to always have the answers, but acknowledging your limitations or errors can be incredibly liberating and deeply respectful. If you've had a disagreement or made a misstep, a genuine apology can go a long way. "I was wrong about that, and I'm truly sorry if my words caused you pain. I was operating from a place of old assumptions, and I regret that." This level of humility and self-awareness is incredibly powerful and commands respect because it shows emotional maturity and integrity. You're not hiding behind a facade of perfection. You're being real. Furthermore, Sharing your own evolving thoughts on life, on aging, on current events, or even your own personal growth journey can invite a deeper level of discussion. Perhaps you've recently learned something new, picked up a new hobby, or shifted your perspective on an old belief. Sharing these personal insights demonstrates that you are still a curious, growing individual. I've been reading a lot about X lately, and it's really made me reconsider how I used to think about why. What are your thoughts on it? This fosters intellectual and emotional connection beyond just family obligations. When you share your humanity, your struggles, your lessons, and your continued growth, you become more relatable and approachable. This fosters empathy and understanding, allowing your children to see you more fully, not just as the parent, but as a complex, evolving human being. It shows them you respect them enough to be real with them. And they, in turn, will often reciprocate by seeing you with renewed admiration and a deeper level of connection, leading to a profound and authentic respect for who you truly are. Finally, we arrive at our fifth and perhaps most foundational powerful move, being the person you want them to respect. This isn't about putting on a show or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about authentic self-development and living a life that genuinely inspires not just your children, but yourself. Actions truly speak louder than words. And ultimately, true respect comes from admiration for who you are and how you live your life, not just what you've done for them or the position you hold as a parent. Think about the qualities you admire in others, perhaps curiosity, resilience, kindness, passion, or integrity. By actively cultivating these qualities within yourself, you naturally become a person who commands respect. This means taking ownership of your own happiness and fulfillment. Cultivate your own interests, nurture your friendships outside the family, and pursue passions that bring you joy and purpose. When your children see you living a vibrant, engaged life, filled with your own adventures and contributions, it demonstrates self-reliance and self-worth. It shows them you are not dependent on them for your happiness, which can lift a subtle but heavy burden from their shoulders, allowing them to connect with you more freely. Stay curious, adaptable, and open-minded. The world is constantly changing and demonstrating a willingness to learn new things, embrace new technologies, or consider different perspectives shows a youthful spirit and intellectual vitality. If you want your children to be open-minded yourself. If you want them to be engaged with life, be engaged. Share your own new adventures, whether it's learning a new language, taking a class, volunteering in your community, or simply trying a new recipe. These actions show that you are continuously growing and evolving, that life at any age is about expansion, not contraction. This outward demonstration of your own thriving life makes you a person they admire, someone they want to spend time with, and someone whose opinions they genuinely value. They will respect your resilience, your ability to adapt, and your continued zest for life. This is far more impactful than any amount of advice or parental expectation. When you are thriving, when you are present and engaged in your own life, you become a source of inspiration. You are modeling what it means to live a rich, fulfilling life at every age. And that is perhaps the most powerful way to command enduring respect. It shows them that your wisdom comes not just from your past experiences, but from your ongoing journey of growth and self-discovery. So, we've walked through 5 powerful moves, each building upon the last to cultivate deeper, more authentic respect from your adult children. We started with the profound impact of truly listening and showing empathy, demonstrating that their feelings and experiences are genuinely valued. Then, we explored the strength found in setting healthy boundaries, communicating your own worth and empowering them through trust. We delved into the crucial act of embracing their independence and autonomy, letting go of the reins and trusting them to forge their own path. We then touched upon the surprising power of appropriate vulnerability, sharing your own humanity to forge a deeper, more relatable connection. And finally, we discuss the ultimate move embodying the very qualities you wish to see admired. Living a life that is vibrant, purposeful, and continuously evolving. These aren't quick fixes or manipulative tactics. They are fundamental shifts in how you relate, how you present yourself, and how you genuinely connect. This journey, like any meaningful one, takes time, patience, and consistency. You're shifting patterns that might have been in place for decades, both in yourself and in the dynamics of your family. Remember, even small, consistent steps in these areas can create a ripple effect, slowly but surely transforming your relationships. The most important thing is to start, to be compassionate with yourself when you stumble, and to remain committed to fostering truly respectful, adult connections. Now, for that surprising insight I mentioned at the beginning. You see, the profound secret to gaining respect from your children again isn't just about them respecting you. It's fundamentally about you respecting yourself and them. When you act from a place of self-respect, honoring your own needs, boundaries, and continued growth, and when you genuinely respect their autonomy, their choices, and their unique journey, their respect for you becomes an organic, natural outcome. It's not about making them do something or demanding a certain response. It's about becoming a person they genuinely admire, someone they want to connect with on an adult, peer-like level. The biggest shift often happens within you, in how you view yourself and your role, and how you approach the relationship. When you trust them, they trust you. When you honor yourself, they learn to honor you. When you are genuinely thriving, you inspire them. This transformation not only deepens their view of you, but also profoundly enhances your own sense of peace, fulfillment, and joy in this important chapter of your life. It allows you to embrace your role as a wise, loving elder who is also a vibrant, independent individual. I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these powerful moves? What worked for you? What challenges have you faced? And what wisdom can you share from your own experiences? Please share your thoughts and insights in the comments below. Your stories are incredibly valuable to this community. If this video resonated with you and offered some helpful perspectives, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps this content reach more people who might benefit from it. And if you want more insights on navigating life's later chapters with grace, power, and connection, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Remember, every stage of life offers new opportunities for growth, deeper connection, and abundant joy. You have so much wisdom to share, so much love to give, and so much more life to live fully and vibrantly. Embrace this incredible journey, because truly, the best is yet to come. Live your best life at every age,